Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and you know what time of year it is? It's back to school time, and time once again for all of those after-school activities. Whether it's ballet or football, drama or field hockey, band or basketball, kids' feet need to feel good. Those cleats, sneakers, or shoes for band often don't do those young feet any favors. If our kids are going to stay active and healthy, then they need good feet. That means it's also time to take your kids to the Good Feet Store. Yeah, that's right, the young ones, the kids. Bring them into the Good Feet Store and let's treat them to some personal service. Our team members will measure their feet and find the right arch support for them. They can still wear the shoes they want, but they will have the support to make them comfortable now and keep their feet healthy for the future. It won't take long, and it could change their life. Go to goodfeet.com to make an appointment or just stop by the location nearest you. The Good Feet Store.
Hello
When
and
do
good
I have a
morning.
moment or two to make myself a tea?
Can we do it after we're done with Arrow?
Sure.
Okay, Arrow.
I'm going to zip off into the kitchen and get myself a cup of tea too.
That sounds good.
Okay, I'm staying out of this.
Arrow looks like a little like Patrick Swayze's brother.
Oh my God, I get accused of that all the time. All the time.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That, and then people have said, man, you look like Meatloaf. I go, uh-oh, is that good or bad?
Well, Meatloaf's a tremendous talent, but you don't look like Meatloaf.
I'll tell you what, Robert, this movie, it's a love story. It's an action drama. It's a badass, like a gang movie. I mean, I love the emotion that's in this movie.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you do. It has so many elements going for it. And as you said, it's a heist movie, a family heist movie, because it deals with a father and son who were in this underworld operation. And my son, played by Danny, and also directed by Danny, creates falls in love. He falls in love, and then it changes his life in multiple ways. Mm-hmm. And his wife has two children, so it deals with a blended family, and how do you reconcile with stepdaughters? Yep. And it's very emotional and very true to and a subject that's not explored a lot. This kind of, how do you get accepted with teenage girls, and when you want to be able to treat them as your own, how do you get accepted?
Well,
it's very.
You're so right about that, because my daughter came into my life when she was 14 years old. So I didn't understand what a child was like until she had children, and then I got to see the baby side of the family.
Yes, it's interesting. And then I'm sure it wasn't an immediate acceptance of you as a So and that subject is not dealt with a lot, and this film shows that, and I think it's very healing, and I think people should see that, because it'll give kids a deeper understanding of what maybe a man or a woman may be going through, and the same thing from the father or mother point of view, and how to continue to be accepted for love. So this is a strong message in this film.
Yeah. Well, I love the way that, I'll tell you the message that I picked up was the way that Sammy, you want to be true to the family, but at the same time, you want to go out there and create your own future. And I liked watching that in him, that little bit of conflict in himself, and as he rebuilt his whole heart.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful transformation.
Now, one of the things that sticks out in this movie is the music, and I kept waiting to hear your voice in one of those songs. Did they give you an opportunity like that?
No, I wouldn't, wouldn't fit. I mean, they always talk about it. Hey, maybe we, and it has to be the right, and plus, those songs, the classics that I do, the American Songbook, even though I have the masters, the publishing rights are quite expensive.
Yeah.
In some of the songs. So, but I'm sure at some point, Criminal Minds used one of my songs in the opening one time.
Yeah. So you've been a part of 140 movies and TV shows. That history that you have shaped is it mind blowing to you, or is it like I've had more actors just say, I'm just doing a job, and I'm going, but you affect us. I mean, you really bring things to us, and we're so grateful for it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I don't think of it that way. I think of it as it's a process. Life's a process, and you keep going forward, hopefully, and you keep growth. You keep growing as an artist. You keep growing as a human being, as a father, as a citizen. And so to me, it's about that continued growth. And if you're putting bricks, if you're building a wall and you keep getting, putting more bricks in that wall, it's nice. It's the variety of characters too that I like to play.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of a variety of characters, the way that Danny does bring Sammy to life and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it's just amazing. And this is his fourth film. What was that like with you to work with him one-on-one like that? Because you're now part of his building legacy.
Yeah, I mean, we just became good friends. We did The Iceman together. We didn't meet there. We met while we were doing press at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, and became fast friends. And then the next thing I know, I was doing a film for him called Club Life. And then he did a documentary called Dobby's Way about me. He had a company do that, Tom Donahue and Elon, and did a great job. It's really a terrific documentary. If you have a chance to see it, it's called Dobby's Way. And then Mobtown and Blackjack, and now this, and now I Love Us.
Yeah. What was it like for you to come across this script when you have a title like I Love Us? Was it like, is this going to be a dramedy? But when you dig into it, you're going, oh my God, it's not a dramedy. This is some serious stuff.
Well, no. I didn't. I didn't have any preconceived notions based on the title. And then reading it, I was pleased because it dealt with reconciliation between father and son. There was growth of the character. There was heart. There was the relationship with the family, and a man and a woman, and it was a love story. It had so many different elements. This heist movie that's really the heart of a family relationship. Yeah. So it was a nice way to bring a message in the ravioli. It wasn't just a family drama, about a dad no, it was a heist film that was the backdrop for this great emotional relationship between him and his wife and the children, and then the father coming into it.
Well, I always look at it as the business side of the movie theater business, in the way that how are we going to get the guys to get in there? Well, you have a heist movie. How are we going to get the girls in there? Show them some love. And all of a sudden, this becomes a great date night movie. Yeah,
it's very emotional. Women love it. Guys like it. I mean, we saw it in theaters and people are sniffling, and they're laughing and they're on the edge of their seat with the heist, not expecting some things. And, it was fun for me because I like playing different characters. Like in Blackjack, I played an Irish priest. Here I played this Israeli jeweler who's a heist, who's a thief. So it's fun for me to do accents, to play different characters, to incorporate that, and do it in a very believable way. I think if you see that, you go, if you saw the film. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. So you can see that it's not, I don't just show up as Robert Davi.
Yeah. See, and that's what I've always loved about acting, is the fact that you get to evolve, you get to grow into this character. But how long does it take for you to step away from that character? Is it just once you're out the door, the character stays there?
Well, once you discover the character and it's in you, I think you can always draw it up. You can always bring it back. But you're moving on to the next thing. Yeah. It's not like you're seeped into. It's what's that great Shakespeare quote? Plays many parts. One man in his time plays many parts. So we're all multi-personalitied in some ways. As an actor, you get to portray those characters or those fantasies, and you can put them on screen. But no, I can shed it off pretty. Once you're there, once you have him, then you can disrobe him.
So what do you think it is when it comes to our love affair for heist movies? My dad used to call them modern day Westerns because they have the same kind of vibration that those old fashioned Western movies did.
In what respect? I'm not quite.
In what? Because the action, the darkness. It was always the white hat versus the black hat, and I mean, it's like there, and that's what with heist movies and stuff like that. You've always got the good guy, the bad guy.
Right. Yeah. Well, here there's really no, even the characters, even the baddest guy in the film, Ira, has heart. You know what I mean? So it's not it's very balanced. It's very truthful. It's not demonizing, a character. It's not like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have that element to it. It has, there is someone that is a little bit demonic in it. So you do have that absolutely, but most of the characters aren't. But there is one character that is very, let's say, the antagonist.
So has acting changed any in the past 18 to 20 months in the way that because of our attention span and stuff like that as viewers, shorter sentences or emotions and stuff like that, shorter scenes, has anything changed?
It's been evolving or changing for years. It has that there's just the process of it. And also because of the lack of language, I mean, great writers would be reading great, novelists back in the day. And that affected how they would incorporate in their screenplays, Preston Sturges and all these wonderful people that knew how to turn a phrase, so to speak. And now we have this, instant attention span. We've got so much media. You've got kids that go from a phone to a game to a this to a that. They're not ready to sit down and watch a Fellini movie, or something that's so, and that's unfortunate, plus also with the social media aspect of things, Instagram and everything else. So there is some people say there's a gain. And also look at the Marvel movies,
yep,
which are fun, at times, but they're not necessarily my things. I mean, it'd be good to be in that only because, it gives you more access to do stuff probably that you might want to do. But artistically, they're not as I'd rather do a film like I Love Us, that has some heart and some character and some humanity.
Yeah.
What are we learning? What are we able to gather from someone's journey in a film? So it has a combination of different things. Our kids in education, how devastating is it?
Listeners need to understand, even though the movie is on demand, but it's also in select theaters. This is one of those movies that needs to be seen in a theater.
Yeah, I mean, it plays either way.
Yeah,
but it's nice. Films are nice to see anyway. You know what I mean? In a theater with an audience, there's some communal aspect because you're really taking the ride. It's like, let me put it this way. You go to an amusement park. Well, taking a roller coaster ride by yourself isn't as fun as taking it with a few hundred people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Any of those things. I mean, imagine. It's not the same. So the same with any form of entertainment. Yeah, okay. Who do you look next to say, hey, man, I'm really enjoying this?
Yep.
The community of being able to connect through amusement, through an art form, through many different, mediums. That's why social media is so good because, in a way, because there's that instant connection that people are feeling, even though people criticize it. There's something interesting about it, and it'll probably develop into something. Look, I remember those films where they talk about, Big Brother is going to connect us,
Yep.
And it seems to be, especially with the current, and it's been going on forever, this political correctness that is, I don't know what it's preparing us for,
Are you going to get into any binge watching series on Netflix or Hulu or anything like that? Because I mean,
at times I do. Yes, I binge watch this 000, an Italian series.
Really?
It's terrific. Yeah, the same guy that did Gomorrah, and that was a terrific. And then I binge watched this wonderful PBS special that I recommend everyone to watch on Muhammad Ali, the Ken Burns documentary. It's a terrific documentary because it shows you, I mean, really the magnificence and the struggles that Muhammad Ali had. You know, you think of him, the greatest, and now you see this, and then also his spiritual evolvement from the Nation of Islam to something that was more united, you know, and that's very interesting historically, especially in this day and age. Yeah. It's interesting.
Documentaries have just taken on a whole new life, haven't they? I mean, it's like, even I just saw the new one, Britney versus Spears, and it's just amazing the way that we get to learn about people like yourself.
Yeah, I have one, Davi's Way, that's out there, and it's pretty good. But it's a specific thing. It's not a documentary on me, but a certain aspect of a period of time. But the documentaries are very valuable. I remember seeing this, you know, recently, within the last 7 or 8 years, that, what was it, Virginia Meyer, the photographer. Did you see that documentary?
No, I did not. I will, though.
Check it out. It's a terrific documentary about this woman who was a nanny, who while she was a nanny, was taking thousands of pictures on her camera. And someone discovered these pictures, and she's now in museums. Wow. And she became this, you know, this major artist, no longer with us, but the discovery of her work, fascinating. So things you wouldn't normally see or know about, documentaries bring us to.
Yep, and that's the same thing with podcasting, is that you learn so much through that kind of stuff. Is it because, I mean, you're hearing the physical content, and it's almost like the new folk rock artist. You're sharing the journey.
Exactly. Yes. Podcasts are so successful because of opening up a world.
Yep. Yeah. Are we going to hear new music from you soon?
Yes, I'll have a new album out next year. I've been in the studio. We've been recording. I have to go to Serbia now to film, so I have to lay off for a couple of months. But when I get back, I'll finish it, and then we'll get it out there.
All right, man. Well,
and if you haven't heard my album, it's Davi Sings Sinatra.
Yep.
On the Road to Romance. You can check that out on Amazon and iTunes.
Are we going to see you out there on a small little intimate tour or anything like that? Or are we going to hold back on that for a little bit?
No, I would like to do something right after, you know, I want to get this album. Well, the film's finished. I've got a couple of films and a new TV series coming out, a movie called Reagan as well coming out. And I want to get these things a bit launched, and then I'll have the album come out, and then I'll start. Hopefully, COVID will be under control, and we can have nice concerts.
You're always busy. Go get that cup of tea, man. You need some tea, and because you got a lot of talking to still do today, don't you?
Yes, I do. I got a bit more, and I do need that tea because, you know, getting up at 5 a.m.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, sir.
Thank you, and you too, and blessings to you.
Thank you. You be brilliant today.
All right, thank you, brother.
Bundling home and car insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. But who? They may drop little hints like,
beautiful day out. Even more beautiful since we saved by bundling our home and car insurance with Geico.
Or,
yard work is hard. Much harder than bundling with Geico, which was easy.
Or it may be even subtler, like,
speaking of burgers, we bundled our home and car insurance with Geico and saved a bunch of money.
Bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Before you ride, make sure your mirrors are clean and adjusted properly. And if you're going on a group ride, make sure the lead biker knows where they're going.
Ed, quick question. Where are you taking us?
Oh, I have no idea. What, am I the leader? Because I was following that dude with the red helmet. Where is he?
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.